Hi everybody, this is Tony with Rebel Financial. Thanks for joining us today. And today we are here with GRIN, Gahanna Residents in Needs, and we're here with Beth and Brenda.
Yes.
And so we're going to spend some time just learning about what they do and how, as a community, who they help and how we can help them to service those people. So what I want to do is just allow them to do a lot of the talking today. So let's start by telling us what GRIN is. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay. GRIN stands for Gahanna Residents in Need. We are an organization that is faith-based, nonprofit, 501c3, and we want to help the community, the Gahanna Jefferson specific community, the Gahanna Jefferson School District, with the basic needs of life: food, clothing. We have a lot of referral sources for housing that we can also refer out, but we have a food pantry. We're located at 165 Granville Street. We also have children's clothing. We're connected with the Diapers Coalition. We have a back-to-school fair that was just completed last Saturday, which we gave out 350 backpacks and school supplies. We have a summer lunch program, a weekend snack pack program. We have Thanksgiving help. We give out Christmas toys. We're kind of a year-round self-help kind of thing.
And those have evolved, right? I mean, because how did it
yes.
start? Because it started in 1972.
It
and
did.
It's
It did.
roots are
Yes,
from that.
it started in 1972 by a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Williams from Mifflin Church, and they started recognizing congregational needs. And so she started collecting and donated foods, and she would give them out to people as they stated they needed them. And it evolved. In 1999, more churches became involved. It was still housed at Mifflin until 2014, when they actually were able to have their own facility, which at that time we inherited the clothing pantry from Stony Brook Church, and also the summer lunch program from the Bridges, that used to be an organization in Gahanna. And so we thought, oh wow, can we really handle all of these programs? Because all we've been doing is food and financial assistance. So when we got to 760 Morrison Road, that was what that move was about, is to see how capable we are to handle the needs and the new programs that were given to us. And it was a booming success. We increased. We were really worried about moving from the general area of need being the west side to Morrison Road, and we actually started growing 80% for 2 years straight. Then it started tapering down to 27%, and we recently just moved to 165 Granville Street, right beside Globe Hut, and we're still increasing. We serve between 175 to 200 families a month.
Okay, so I was going to ask that because you're out here kind of in an industrial area. Well, not necessarily. I know there's families here, but downtown is a lot more centrally located.
Right.
So Beth, how did you get involved then?
Well, I started by volunteering with GRIN. When my kids were in elementary school, we were always collecting things for GRIN, and then I was the back-to-school fair coordinator for 3 years, and then in October I was hired and started as program director for GRIN.
Okay, and we talked about you're the two employees, you're two part-time.
Yes.
Part-time, right?
Yes.
So you're working a lot of hours and stuff, but that's we talked about that, right? I mean, you're doing it for the love of it, and for the help.
That's right.
So, but Brenda, you've been a little longer, right? So
Yes, I have been a part of GRIN since 2006. I started volunteering. I've been a part of GRIN since the board was formed in 2011. I was on the board at that time, and then I evolved into the executive director role in 2014.
Okay.
So
as the two employees, and you have a board and such, how many volunteers on an annual basis, or at any one time, do you have helping?
Well, on my volunteer list, there's about 150 names.
Okay.
To man a pantry takes about 14 to 18 people.
Okay.
So when we are open for people to come in and get food, that's about how many we have. Now, a special event like the back-to-school fair required almost 30 people.
Okay.
Just on the day of the event. That didn't count all the preparation that was involved in getting it ready.
Right.
So we can't do it without all the volunteers. They're amazing.
Right. No, that's great. So the volunteers are one aspect of that, right? But as we talked about, you need a lot of support to make these things happen, especially as the programs expand and you do these things. So Let's talk about, because now we're going to be leading up to Myers opening up a little program. So talk about Myers for a second and to how they
Sure.
help and such.
Meyer has what's called the Simply Give program, and they have selected, the Meyer on North Hamilton Road has selected GRIN to be the recipient of this program for 4 years. You can go as a customer and buy a $10 food card. You just pay it, you get a tax receipt for it, and then Meyer doubles that money. And at the end of the campaign, they write us a check.
Okay.
So the newest campaign starts on the 19th of this month and goes through September 15th. And we take those food cards and then purchase items to fill the food pantry.
From Myers.
Mhm.
Okay. And so I'm curious, are you communicating this somehow to volunteers and other people that they should be going to Myers? Is there a list they can sign up on the website to be able to get this information?
Yes, we have on the website, you can sign up to be on our newsletter. It's always put in our newsletter. It's on our Facebook page. We share it with all the churches. We have liaisons from a lot of the churches in the community that share this information with their congregations. So it kind of goes out kind of in a grassroots
Okay, well,
kind of
good.
method.
But specifically, as you said, starting this Sunday, Myers is
Yes.
starting this
Yes.
program. So, and we'll come back to the website. So we'll give people the address and where they could go. And,
Great.
It's actually grinforgehanna.org, but we'll come back to that anyway. So, and what about Mid-Ohio? I mean, so you have, you're functioning here in Gehanna. How are those relationships? How does that work?
Mid-Ohio has been wonderful for us.
Yes.
We currently have not had to purchase food from Mid-Ohio because they have an e-harvest program that offers things at a much reduced rate. But we have been able to get fresh produce and dairy items
And bread.
and bread
Mhm.
on a weekly basis. So
Okay.
we will go and pick that up. You can go as many times as you want. We could go every day if we needed to. Some weeks we have 3 pantries. Some weeks we have 1. So it's just dependent upon our need at that time.
Okay. And speaking of the pantries, what are those hours typically?
Those hours are every Wednesday from 10 to 12 p.m., every Tuesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m.
First and third Tuesday.
Oh, first and third, I'm sorry, yes. First and third Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m., and then the first and third Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m.
Okay. And again, this is all on the website.
Yes,
so
it is.
Yes.
We'll come back and we'll go over that. So, all right. So we talked about Myers, Mid-Ohio, a lot of volunteers. All right. Did we miss anybody, or is that we always need volunteers, right?
We do always
Absolutely.
And so go to the website. We'll drive you there. But anybody else? I mean, that's let's not do that because you'll feel bad about it. We don't. miss
Yeah.
it, so, but that's a pretty good idea, and hopefully people can go to Myers then and
Yes.
help there. So. I'm curious, you've been there since 2006, and you've been there 4 years now. But 2006 just reminds me of the beginning of a really bad time. But I think what people, as the economy has grown and gotten better,
Yes.
I think people forget there's still a great need out there. So
Yes.
have you seen, I mean, how are things changed in that time? Is there anything that you could describe, I mean, in terms of the needs of people, or how much? Are you seeing more, anything like
yes,
that?
absolutely. We're seeing, as you know, with many of the changes, we're seeing more grandparents raising their grandchildren, which is creating more need. It's not just a family-oriented service that we're providing. It's single moms, it's single individuals, it's older individuals, it's the younger individuals with no children, a single dad, a single mom. So the dynamics of our clients have changed. And the need is definitely increasing because it isn't only about the poverty level, it is about 2 working parents not being able to make ends meet, or part of our federal system being broken as far as if you make $3 over the poverty level, you cannot get benefits, but you're still struggling as much as the people that are getting the benefits. So connecting our clients with benefits is one of the things that we're trying to work harder on, and so that definitely has been the changes that I've seen.
Okay. And so a number of programs going on. One that interests me was the one who was actually getting help from you, the individual, right? And so you talk about what the individual who now is running one of the charities, or is
Oh, yeah,
an
that's called the
event?
Gehanna GRIN Classic. We have
Okay.
a gentleman that is a custodian at Middle School South, and his family, as he was growing up, needed assistance. They got food from GRIN, clothing from GRIN. for quite a while, and he is now he's graduated from high school, he's working with the schools, and he's now on his own, and he wants to be able to give back to the community. So he has created the Gahanna GRIN Classic. It's the weekend of October 13th, and it's a softball tournament that all the proceeds are coming back to GRIN.
Okay.
So it's kind of an exciting way to see someone, the hand up, which is what we want to be. We always want to just get people to where they can get through their rough patch and then move on to where they can be self-sufficient. And now he's actually turning around and giving back to GRIN.
No, that's awesome. So another neat program I thought, as I said, I know that a lot of kids struggle during the school year to get meals and such, but we forget about that in the summer. So the program just ended, but you actually had lunches every day for those that needed it, right?
Yes.
So, no, that's awesome too. So, a little bit about Thanksgiving, and I bring that up only because, as we told you, we've had Brian Wollenberger in here who does a great job collecting a lot of things for folks for Thanksgiving. So, and I know he helps you all. So let's talk about that just for a moment, and then we'll go to the website after that.
We have found that for our Thanksgiving program, over many years of developing the program itself, that in order to give the most to the clients that we have, because Gahanna dynamics have changed also Gahanna's becoming a melting pot. We have many nationalities, ethnicities and races, and one of the ways that we're trying to be sensitive to that is through our Thanksgiving program. So we will offer all of the trimmings for a turkey dinner, but we also offer a food card. So if that is something that, if they eat something or do not eat something that we provide in the box, and they're able to go purchase that themselves. So we're trying to be very culturally sensitive. Brian helps us through his foundation, the Byron Saunders Foundation, he gives us 75 boxes full of Thanksgiving things for us to incorporate into what we give out. And we generally serve 175 to 200 families every Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we also give out pajamas at that time and books, because that's something that our clients have been telling us is, wow, our house is cold and our kids need pajamas. So, so we start collecting pajamas, and we have coats left over, hats and gloves, things like that.
Yeah, I know there's most people want to help people, but you really don't know where the needs are until you get involved like this. Then you're surprised by some of the obvious things that you just don't think about, like haircuts, right? You guys had said that.
Right.
So.
And I want to mention something about that, and that is when we first started the back to school program, Beth and I sat down and we're putting our heads together, and we're like, oh, what are all the things that they're going to need? They're going to need sports physicals and dental exams and vision screens, and it wasn't what they wanted. When we surveyed the clients afterwards, they're like, no, we don't want that stuff. We need free haircuts. We need help with socks and underwear, and so that's how we've been able to change our program to meet the needs that they're telling us they have. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll also so Brian has a great program where businesses can put boxes in their office to collect some things too. So I know we'll be mentioning Brian's charity again, the Byron Saunders, to help that. So, well, let's take a few minutes to go through the website. And,
Sure.
And I'm here, allowing our team here to get to the website and show this. So, Beth, do you want to drive us a little bit and show a little bit what's on the website?
Sure. The best place to start is at the top tabs. You can look at if you need help as a member of the community, if you want to help, and then just some basic details about our history and where we are located.
And real quick, let's mention again the website. So it's GRIN 4, the number 4, Gahanna.org.
Correct.
So, and we'll put that up so everybody will see that. But
So if you go to the Want to Help, here we are. It will list the things that are coming up. It talks about how you can make a donation. There are different ways. We need goods. We need money. We love monthly donations to get some, so we can plan to have some regular spending. We also have volunteer opportunities. The easiest way is to go to our Sign Up Genius, and it will list the activities that we have coming up.
Okay.
And you can open them up. Here, I'll show you one that still has a lot of needs. There's nobody signed up for this one. We're having an event with New Life Church. They are making a collection for us. They want us to be there to explain GRIN, and we need people to man that table.
Right.
So it's very easy to go, look at that. To volunteer at GRIN, you do need to have a background check.
Okay.
And there's a link that you can do that. So that's very easy to manage
But
right through the
you want to get
website.
ahead of it yourself, right? So do that.
Do
the first
that
thing,
right
yeah.
away, because it's safety for you and it's safety for us and
Sure.
safety for our clients. We need to make sure that everybody is protected that way.
How long does it take normally?
Usually less than a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
week to 10 days. It's a pretty quick process. Let's flip over to the need help. This is a great place if you meet someone and they need help. You can refer them to this website, or if you need help yourself, this will give you ideas of what we have going on.
Okay.
When you look at the food pantry, oops, I guess I was right there. It'll tell you what you need to do. You need to make an appointment. We prefer an appointment. We will accept walk-ins, but we like to have an appointment because then there's less wait time, and we need to make sure we have enough food and items in the pantry for
Ahead
people
of
that
time.
come in. Right. We need proof of
Does
residency.
that work pretty well? I mean, are you
The-
get
the
people
pan-
doing that ahead of time?
Yes,
Okay.
the appointment system. It was an interesting transition.
Yes.
When we moved to 165 Granville Street, we started it. So it's been an interesting transition, but it has worked
Okay.
wonderfully.
Good.
It tells you what you need to bring. We do not require proof of income. If you live where you say you live, and you are who you say you are, and you tell us you have need, we
You
take
accept
care of
that,
you.
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think most people are honest, right? And I think so.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part,
Right, for the most
there's
part.
you
Right.
know there's always a little bit, but for the most part, people come in and they're very honest. One of the things that we really focus on in our pantry is treating everyone with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
Very important.
Typically, we see people at their worst.
Right.
They come in and they need help, and especially someone that's coming in for the first time, it can be a very overwhelming process for them. And our volunteers are wonderful,
Right.
welcoming, confidential, and they can get the help they need without feeling poorly about themselves. We want
Right.
them to walk out of there and feel really good about the help that they
Right.
got, and that it's a step in the right direction.
Right.
We want them to feel supported. And
Yes.
and not ashamed.
Right.
So
Okay.
there's our pantry hours. Again, Brenda listed those. You can always call. We'll set up an appointment, but we will take walk-ins for the first time. We don't want anybody to be restricted. We want to make sure that they're taken care of. And if they forget to make an appointment and they're hungry, they need to come.
Right.
Okay.
We certainly want to take care of people.
When they come to the pantry, what are they looking at? A couple days of food? I mean, what are they typically receiving?
They get to shop through and select what they want, and for every member of their family, they're going to get 5 days worth of food. So it's 15 meals
Okay.
per person in their family. So what they select is directly dependent on the number in their family.
Okay.
So they get canned food. They also get a selection of eggs, butter, and cheese. We have fresh produce, and we have frozen meats that we get from WARM, which is Westerville Area Resource Ministry, that they get through the grocery store. So we have Kroger meats. We have lovely, lovely meat. And then we also have Food Rescue,
Okay.
which is from Hot Chicken Takeover, Chick-fil-A, Edible Arrangements,
The barn.
Panera, the barn. They give us leftovers. We repackage and freeze it. Volunteers do, and then we can share those items with our
Okay.
clients.
Okay. Well, there's a lot on the website. So
Yes,
There is.
it's
we can
huge.
We can
There
spend a
is.
lot of time here,
Yes.
so, and we're running low, but, so please go here again, it's GRIN for the number 4, Gahanna.org. Let me ask you one last thing about the website, though. So I see utility and rent assistance. Does
Yes.
that lead to, do you all involved with that, or is that just a link somewhere else?
We do financial assistance. It's $200 increments in a 12-month calendar year.
Okay.
So we can help them, and we will do that for 3 years, for up to 3 years, and then we ask them to sit out. With each time that they come in for financial assistance, we just ask for a past due bill or eviction if it's for rent.
Okay.
And we ask them to sit through a class on budgeting or credit reporting. And we're in the process of changing our financial assistance program, so trying to figure out how to best help them. We want to educate them.
Mhm.
We do not want to be a crutch.
Right.
So
Right.
we're not trying to enable, we're trying to give them a step up and help them to help themselves.
Right.
So that is our ultimate goal, and that's why we'll be changing some of the financial
Okay.
processes.
Okay,
So
well, good.
yeah.
Well, ladies, thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
great having you. It was a nice conversation. So next week, we're going to have Brian Wagner from A Radical Vision visiting us. So it'll probably be Phil, but it may be me. So please join us then as well. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and again, thank you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Sure.